right, welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Um, in celebration of violence. In celebration of violence is a fantasy action roguelite of exploration and murder. The methodical combat requires you to plan your attacks, dodges, blocks, and parries while considering your opponents and the environment. So Dark Souls. Death
Mm-hmm.
is permanent, but you can improve your stats and purchase items to aid future lives. So Rogue Legacy. And if things get too tough for you, then up to four local friends can grab controllers and aid the hero as player controlled monsters, zombies, and bandits. So Twilight handled this game and
Mm-hmm.
give us the details.
All right. Well, yeah. The name of the game here is basically go forth, fight, die, and repeat over and over again. Basically, yeah. This yeah. Your basic goal in this game is to go out and explore the world as this amnesiac. Like everyone is, just about everybody in this world seems to be amnesiac to some degree. They're literally living this whole die and come back to life thing over and over again. It seems. Um, and out in the world is everyone's gone mad basically, and you basically have to go out and fight your way to the end. There's like next to barely any story whatsoever. It's a dog eat dog world out outside the sanctuary of the town you start off in, and you just gotta go out and survive and go off into these branching branching paths. There's like two different exits out in each world of well stage you're in, and you just pick one and go forth and fight the boss at the end of that stage. And yeah, the combat as described is yeah basically Dark Souls, but this is a 2D top-down game. You don't exactly have the dodge roll there like you do in Dark Souls um, games.
Well, yeah, you're playing as a cube. Cubes don't roll well.
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, your character is like very cube-looking, tiny person. Instead, you do have the ability to parry, but your parrying is slow. This game has like a very it really pushes yeah being patient and methodical in how you go about approaching your enemies. Though most of the time you're going to be attacked by at usually about a maximum of maybe three enemies, maybe four at a time. You're lucky if you're just going up against two. Um, and yeah, you have to. I tried to go about taking things slowly, and I'm usually pretty patient, but you're getting assaulted by three guys at once. One of them's shooting a bow at you, and the other probably casting spells, fireballs, and or energy blasts at you. You're it's kind of hard to take things slow, and when you want to this when you really want to take out the most pressing ish, the most dangerous opponent first, usually the mage or the archer. um, it's not exactly much easier when you're fighting a melee opponent as well. These guys will come right at you without fear, and usually you carry a big, large sword, and when you're attempting to, and you try, and you really want to try to block, and I have from time to time been successful with the blocking. Only problem is that your character will only put up their weapon to protect themselves with for a short moment before putting it back, um, um, before they put it back to her side, and yeah, that makes it difficult to actually do what you're supposed to do. I always basically just try to time um, the best of my ability to usually using my usually using my pitchfork to stab him from as much distance as I can get between me and whoever I'm fighting and hope for the best. Um, though for multiple enemies, you want to have something that has a wide arc to it, like your sword or something like that. You have you carry two different weapons at a time. You start off with a wooden sword and a pitchfork. You can pick up others where you're out exploring. This is usually by getting them off of a dead opponent, um, um, paying the only currency that's available. Well, not the really the only currency, but your main currency is your experience that you pick up from your dead enemies. Is is your main source of currency as well as your means of improving your character as well. You do. I can also collect materials like wood, stone, metal, but that's much harder to come by, and you're gonna want to get um, a larger weapon like a big, huge sword, a metal sword, to cut down the trees and break stone and what and such. You can find materials in crates, but that's not the most common um, ob- object you can find out there. Um, yeah, of course, your different types of weapons will be like daggers, a bow that requires the wood that you can find to use as ammo, and yeah, the your as nice as the ranged weapons are, you're going to likely want to be sticking to your close combat weapons most of the time, and and is hoping that you can do the best you can to progress through the game. There's magic as well. The magic system is well, in order to acquire any magic, you'll be finding spell books from time to time, um, and and then you have to pay your well, on rare occasions you don't have to, but you have to be paying your experience to open the spell book and pick from a choice of three different types of three different spells. They vary from your fireball or ice ball spell, a healing spell, sometimes a creature summoning spell, um, but those are actually much rarer um, than some of the others. I found honestly the magic to be not very useful at times. They have a once you use them, they have a cooldown, and that requires well, that doesn't really require it, but it has a cooldown that varies between spells. So you can speed its cooldown up by collecting the experience that you find. Uh, so yeah, I personally do not find the magic to be all that useful, and it never really did much for me throughout my playthroughs. The healing spells, most particularly, were not of any use at all. You're going to be relying on your surges, which is you start out with four with each stage you go through, and your surges will basically heal you for so much health, and you'll be most likely using these surges when you reach the threshold where you start bleeding. something you do not want to happen, because you will die. Um, well, the die. I'll get to that in just a moment, but let's see here. If I'm not forgetting anything particular worthy of note. Um, there are some other there's some means of gaining an edge during your playthroughs. The gods that you can acquire favors from. I didn't make too much use of them. They're handy, but you can pray to a god who will give you like a stat boost or an item or memento. I'll speak more of those a little bit. And that can give you an edge, and but still didn't find these particularly helpful. And it doesn't help either that by praying to one god, you're going to not gain much favor from another one. You kind of have to be pick and choose about whose favor you want. Um, like I mentioned, some will give you what are called mementos. These are sub equipment type items that have varying um, abilities, and the item you get is pretty random. These items came from range from something that may slowly give you experience over time, maybe a slow regeneration of ability, or this absolutely useless stone that's rotating around my character on the footage right now. I never really found much use in that thing. Um, I was hoping it would
Clearly, you just didn't find the hidden bowling pin in every level.
Yeah. Apparently, all that stone was really used for was destroying any objects nearby. I was hoping it would help me against the boss here, but that was not the case.
If there was a way to upgrade it so that there were like 3 or more of the stones, it would be good.
Yeah, it would be nice then. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, like I said, the mementos have varying abilities. They, of course, unlike your experience, yeah, unlike your experience, you don't get to keep those. But something I should also mention as well, the how you keep experience. Yeah, usually at the end of a stage, if you manage to defeat the boss, you will gain access to a diary. Um, this is where you bank your experience that you've collected over time. Whatever experience you have at the end of the stage, you can bank and then move on to the next level. Though another means is you don't have to wait till the end. If you're lucky, you can actually acquire a spell that will summon the diary to you and just bank it then before fighting the boss, or if you wish to end your session for that time. Yeah, then upon whenever you die, you can start your playthrough and over again, and put depending on the cost of each stat, however much experience you want, and whatever you have remaining, you can use that on your next playthrough, by for whatever purposes you wish to use it for. Yeah, the overall, um, I found this game interesting at first, but the repetition, like, you're not going to get very far during your like first like 10 playthroughs. Like, you're likely going to be dying to the boss before you even move on to the next stage there, and maybe like now before during your like first 2 or 3 playthroughs. Heck, I didn't even make it to the boss during my first one. Well, I was just trying to figure out what exactly I'm doing most of the time, and that's pretty much what you're gonna be doing during your first as you're playing through the game. Just um, plowing head first into whatever into everything you're doing, basically. Um, but I'm not saying this game is bad though. Um, well, you just have to be very patient with this game. Take your time, feel for however what kind of character you wish to make. Um, yeah, you can build your character depending on the stats you put in. Do you want to be a tanky character? You want to be a quick character? Thankfully, you can actually enhance your parrying ability. It's a slow but noticeable improvement over time with each like, point you put into it. So that was nice to find out. I was going for a much quicker character since tanking was exactly looking to be the best option for me. But yeah, I slowly lost interest in the game over time. Unfortunately, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who will enjoy this sort of thing, who actually have more time on their hands to play this sort of game. And I can see this actually being quite rewarding um, for, when it comes to personal enjoyment. Um, Now, as for other details, well, in terms of gameplay, is there anything anybody wants might want to know that I might have forgotten or such, or any more clarification?
I think I'm good.
Mm,
I'm good.
all right, all right. That's how the graphics. As you can see, there's actually it's sprite based and very detailed in the environment. Um, And yeah, as the name implies, this game is yeah going to be pretty violent. You're going to be seeing a lot of blood. Um, I forgot to mention, and that you're pretty well encouraged to kill everything um, while exploring this. Right quick here. As to your I forgot what it's called. Your violence level or something like that, which dictates how much experience you'll be able to keep. But yeah, that you don't bank. But anyway, yeah, a lot of a well detailed world is what I noticed most of all in this game. And it was actually quite nice to look at as I was exploring all the nice detail that I saw in the world. Um, let's see here. In terms of the music, some appropriately dour music. I only really recall this one song that plays while you're exploring out in the world. The boss music was appropriately more energetic and giving you a sense of this is not quite suspense, but yeah, you're in for a fight of your life type of deal. But yeah, there's this um, very dour music I heard. I don't know if it could continues on into the next levels, but yeah, appropriately dour, sad sounding, kind of haunting, that I kind of enjoyed in a way, since it was so definitely gave you a sense of a very crap shack world, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, the sound effects were quite good as well. Um, some very spooky ones as well. While you're exploring, you find some places where you find these dead bodies. You'll hear these ghostly cries while you're while you're around the corpses, and yeah, some haunting environmental sounds as well. I thought the sound design was overall quite good. So, pricing. So in celebration of violence is $7.99, $8. Yeah, I'd say that's actually a good price for this game. Especially with the nice amount of effort that was put into it. Like I said, you're just want to be the for playing this game. You want to be as patient as possible and take your time and be ready for the long haul, basically, because you're not going to make a lot of progress very quickly. Otherwise, you're just going to get frustrated. Um, there's a bundle as well in celebration of Violence plus Thy Kingdom Crumble. I have not played Thy Kingdom Crumble, but this bundle here is $9.73, and yeah, I think that's actually a good price for both these games. If you're interested in Thy Kingdom Crumble, I can't say anything about it, but if you're looking for the sort of person who likes bundles, I say go for it. So yeah, I if I had more time on my hands, I wouldn't mind continuing to play through in celebration of violence, but unfortunately, I really don't. So I really can, like I already said, be ready for the long haul and be very patient with this game, and yeah, that's how you'll get quite a lot out of it. So yeah, that's it for me.
Right then. So that'll about do it for this installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. Coming up on the week ahead, on Wednesday, April 7th, we will be having Josiah Tull of Josiah Tull Games. He is the developer of the recently released Utopia Process, which is a modern day homage to classic games, namely Space Invaders and Missile Command. It combines the two together and is really hard. So,
Huh.
yeah,
Hmm.
we'll be talking about that on Wednesday. No Friday show this week of any variety. So, until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.